So on Thursday night, we saw Brock Purdy miss more throws than we ever have, right? And just plays like this, ironically enough, it wasn't when the Giants blitzed him. It wasn't on the 84% of dropbacks that the Giants blitzed. So I want to focus on how Brock looked versus the blitz, why it's promising, and why I'm not really worried about him at all. I thought it was a great test. So let's get into how the 49ers looked on a game which feels like a month ago, last Thursday night against the Giants. All right, so Wink Martindale, he is a nut. He is going to bring 5, 6, sometimes 7. And how you beat the blitz is just by replacing it. So as you can see, the blue is where the Giants are blitzing, and they're going to have their defensive end to the top of the screen fall off. So to the bottom is how the route concepts are going to work out. So if we look at this route here, just beat it, right? So this guy's going to come. The middle linebacker's going to come. All you need to do is replace the blitz. And I think Brock Purdy has his eyes in the right spot. And that is key to beating the blitz, just knowing where to go with the football. So they consistently did that. How it plays out, George Kittle is in the slot. He runs the seam. And all Brock Purdy has to do is replace where the blitzing cornerback came. Because there is a giant vacant hole right there. As you can see, there's nobody in the flat. There's nobody underneath. And Debo's wide open. So simple, but is it? And the reason I say that is because, think about it. Let's look at the protection walk through here. The 49ers are outmanned in a lot of these blitzes over the course of the game. And by that means the Giants are bringing more than they have to protect. So it's on the quarterback to account for the extra rusher. How does he do that? By getting rid of the ball quickly. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're having troubles here just because 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. They're outnumbered on this side. And this actually happened quite a bit over the course of the game too. I don't know if the 49ers are just sliding the wrong way, but thankfully I think Brock got him right just because he was able to get rid of the ball quickly. So guy coming down in his face, gets rid of the ball, don't even notice. First down. All right, so there are a few plays where Brock dropped back and he put the ball in harm's way. On this play, I thought he just kind of predetermined where he wanted to go with the ball. So as you can see, here's the route concept. Kyle Juszczyk, George Kittle lined up to the same side as inline tight ends. Juice is going to run the ball, the over-the-ball route, with the assumption that he's going to hold the linebackers. Kittle is going to run behind the linebackers and go across the field on a little through route, over route. Christian McCaffrey is out of the backfield. He's going to run this swing route. Again, he is trying to hold the corner. So he's trying to hold whoever their flat player is over here. And then Ray McCloud is going to run the deep corner route. And he is, ideally, he is going to run off whoever the deep safety is, the deep coverage is. So as we watch it play itself out, Brock should be reading this cornerback. He's going to tell you what to do. If he dives on the flat on that Christian McCaffrey route, then you will throw the ball to Kittle. If he sits and waits for Kittle, you can throw the ball to McCaffrey. Based on the alignment, based on what the Giants are doing, he's going to tell you what to do, and there's no way the Giants can be right. So as we watch, he's sinking, right? So he is playing the deep. The ball should go right here. Now you have McCaffrey and all this space, and we've seen what he can do one-on-one, and I'll show you what he can do in tight quarters one-on-one later in the game. But again, to me, this just seems like Brock was going to throw this pass the minute he left the huddle. I just want to watch it again one more time. He's kind of locked on. Doesn't really acknowledge that other corner. As you can see at the end here, right there. That's pretty funny to me. Obviously, it could have been a disastrous play. It wasn't as close of an interception as it seemed live. But Kittle does the little DB strapped, like he played coverage, because he knocked the ball away and didn't give the DB a chance to make the play. But again, it's more about Brock just not predetermining what he's going to do before the ball snapped, and acknowledging every defender on the field. The DB probably takes a poor angle, but Kittle's able to knock it away. And that's that. So the first quarter was a bit rocky for Brock, and I think it just took him time to get adjusted, to get accustomed to how the Giants were playing him. So this should be a layup, in my opinion. And we've seen Brock, Jimmy, like they've made these plays, these throws over and over. This is a layup in Kyle Shanahan's offense. So what they're going to do is they're going to fake the play action, and Debo's just going to run up and run that little backside slant, that backside drift route. On the front side of the play, Ronnie Bell is going to run up and run this little read route. He's going to run a deep stop route. So as we watch it play out, to me, it seems like Brock's coming off that throw to Debo just way too quickly, right? Like there's no reason for him to come off. He has no pressure in his face. Just hang on to it. Instead, he comes off and gets sacked. So first quarter, Brock is 5 for 11, 68 yards. I don't know if, again, like they knew the Giants were going to win. Again, 84% pressure rate. And I think that kind of sped him up on this play, thinking, hey, I got to get rid of the ball. Somebody's coming. But they weren't. And as the game went along, he played much more calm in the pocket. Finished the game after the first quarter, 20 of 26 for 242 yards. And we'll show more of those plays against the blitz. But again, right here, just hang on to him. If he's hanging, there's a giant window here. This linebacker never really, even as Brock's looking to his right, he never really threatens, right? He's never really drifting this way. He's taking himself out of the play. And I think that's where that window is right there. As you can see, Debo comes into the play. Instead, he goes left, starts to drift, drops his eyes, and then gets sacked. And honestly, the offensive line deserves a lot of credit because, again, the Giants are bringing 5 and 6 every play, and Brock playing more calm in the pocket could be as simple as the offensive line doing their jobs, right? The offensive line picking up the extra defender, winning their one-on-one block. So this throw is a little bit behind Juwan Jennings, but it's an explosive play. It's a big play. It's a third down conversion. You stay on the field, and let's watch the stunts. Like, they're running a ton of games up front, if you can check this out. So this linebacker is going to loop all the way around. You have your best pass rusher lined up inside, which a lot of defenses do nowadays. But if you just watch across the board, watch them pass off all of the moving parts, McKivitz could easily keep riding inside, which he kind of does, but there is your running back who has been much improved. He's out there. It's a really nice job up front by the 49ers offensive line. Gives Brock time, throws it a little bit behind, which people get so upset about that. But to me, nothing really doesn't bother me. Sure, like if it's out in front of him, like if that's Debo or Ayuk, maybe that hinders the yards after the catch, but it's a big play. It's an explosive play, and that's what you want, especially against the blitz. All right, so red zone. This is where not having a guy like Brandon Ayuk can kind of hurt. So the Giants, obviously, like they're bringing all of these guys. It's clear that they're in man coverage across the board. That's why they're off so far. If this was Brandon Ayuk, I'm either throwing a slant, make them guard this, but I mean, you're not going to really throw the backside route to Ray McLeod. So what's going to happen here is, I believe George Kittle comes up and goes in. Juwan Jennings does the same. And then Debo is the route, and he's going to run to the corner. So I think Brock does a pretty good job here of just buying time. He actually does that over the course of this game. But if you watch where the ball is placed, since he's throwing it to the corner, that ball has to be, and I know he's fading away, but still, maybe this is an arm strength issue, but this ball has to be toward the back pylon. So right now, technically he won, right? And I know he's coming a little flatter, but you want the ball to lead him upfield and away from the defender. That way he's making sort of an over-the-shoulder catch. Instead, they get away with it. Very fortunate that's not a turnover. And if we watch it from the back, from the end zone view here, like again, I don't think that the line is sliding the right way here. And here's why I say that. So let's watch where the Giants step here. So, first of all, Christian McCaffrey does a really nice job of taking his guy out. But you have to adjust for him, but he's like not even in the box right now. You have to adjust for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 5. And then, of course, Trent Williams has to acknowledge him, but I feel like they should slide toward the extra defenders. Instead, they don't. And now they're fanning out, and one of these guys comes free. So this is why I say Brock does a nice job of just bailing. See, he's buying himself more time by bailing. Linebacker doesn't have a chance to get there. So that's a really difficult throw. Just the concept of doing this in general, beating the blitz, and this is why beating the blitz is so difficult. And watch this. So gets the throw off. Defender's on him. So naturally that affects the pass, but I imagine they made some halftime adjustments because as the game went along, or even sideline adjustments, as the game went along, we saw less of this, but they did have a couple breakdowns. And again, we're fortunate not to turn the ball over there. All right, another example of Brock buying time. So it's a 7-step drop, and they're running 7-step drops against the blitz. That's when you know the play caller trusts his quarterback. So route concepts, it's a smash concept. So Kyle Juszczyk, inline tight end, he's going to run the short out. George Kittle, inline tight end, he's going to run the deep corner. Again, if you get zone coverage, you are going to read him. He is going to tell you what to do. If he drops, just throw the underneath route to Juice. If he if he nails down on the short out route, you're going to have Kittle one-on-one with the safety, and you're going to throw that every day of the week. So let's watch the routes play itself out. Watch what the corner does. Corner sits. Corner jumps. So that tells Brock, if he's reading the play correctly, I should have space. There is not much space there, but that is an absolute dime of a throw. Perfectly placed in between the corner and the safety. And then let's watch what Brock does. Again, buying time. I have an extra rusher. I have to drift. I have to buy time for my receivers and beat the blitz. And he does that to a T. So, again, something is off with the protection. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they're sliding this way, but it's called Bob. So you want your bigs to be blocking their bigs, and then the running back takes whoever the extra defender is, whether that's the safety, linebacker. You don't want this player to block one of these guys. Ideally, he is taking care of this linebacker or this linebacker safety, whatever position he is, or him if he blitzes. So one of these three is on Elijah Mitchell. It doesn't work out that way. So they're sliding this way, and Mitchell is forced to block Kayvon Thibodeau. Like, that's not what you want. I promise you that's not how you draw this up. Like, why they're not sliding, why they're not, he's kicking out here, he's kicking out here, he's blocking here, go here, here, and then Mitchell has the linebacker. I don't know, something's wrong. But they're able to get away with it, and I think, again, 7-step drop against the blitz is pretty nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sets his feet, has the wherewithal to set his feet, and then the ball that's a dot right there. So very impressive rep from the quarterback. They get everybody blocked. So even though it's probably not the right way, it ends up exactly, how you want in the end. So results over process in this scenario, but it's not something you want to rely on as the season goes along, where your running back is forced to block their best edge rusher. All right, so you've been getting blitzed all game. You break the huddle expecting to get another blitz look. As you can see, the box is incredibly light, so the 49ers have an empty backfield. Only 4 players rush, but we're watching 65 on this play. So it's a long gain for Debo on a screen. So they have the numbers advantage, but he pretty much blocks 2 players, and that's the only reason I want to show this. So Debo does a good job of kind of manipulating that he's going inside, manipulating the defense. He's going to run inside slightly, and that's why the safety kind of just pauses and ducks inside a bit. But 65 takes 1 and 2, and that's why it's off to the races for Debo. Aaron Banks has been very impressive so far through 3 games. All right, 3rd down in the red zone, have to convert, and Wink Martindale is going to bring pressure. So the Giants end up bringing 6, and the 49ers are empty. Again, when you're running in empty formation against the blitz, you have 100% faith that your quarterback is A, not going to get sacked, B, going to get rid of the ball before that extra lineman or that extra rusher gets there. And he just knows where to go with the ball. So it's 5 on 6, which means the quarterback is responsible for the extra rusher. It is a corner route again, so I believe he's just going to, Christian McCaffrey's going to hold the underneath route, and it is a smash concept, which is a beautiful concept in the red zone. So let's watch it play itself out. This is an obvious man defense when they're so far off. Brock buys time. So again, this little drift that he's doing, like the fact that he's able to make these throws accurately off platform with, I mean, his feet are barely set. Like, he's throwing a fadeaway right there, knowing that, hey, I'm going to get hit. Like, that is part of playing quarterback. I have to beat the blitz. I'm going to take a little lick, probably. But that does not affect his accuracy, and I think that's the most impressive part. So, look where that ball is. Ball is out before Ronnie Bell gets his head around and is out of his breaks. Right here, it looks like there's no way he's going to get open. But based on where the ball is placed, Purdy throws him open. Cannot do better than that. So the one thing that's been consistent throughout the game is as Purdy continues to buy time and as he faces the blitz, his eyes are not dropping, right? Like young quarterbacks, in a lot of instances, like when they see the opposite color flash, their eyes are dropping and the play is dead. So it's 2nd and 10. You know you're going to get a blitz. His eyes could easily drop and he could be looking to run right now. Because look, free rusher. Instead, like every blitz does not, you don't need to beat the blitz every time with a home run. He knows where his check down is, right? And that's a part of playing quarterback, knowing where all your routes are. He eludes, is able to buy a little bit of time just by moving the pocket, not being a statue. And that's why the 49ers are able to get a 9-yard gain on 2nd and 10. Stay ahead of the sticks. Keep your offense on the field. Let your playmakers do the work. Like I think Purdy has a good understanding that the 49ers have a ton of talented players. I don't need to do the heavy lifting, right? Move a little bit. Let Mitchell break a tackle. 9-yard gain. Those little plays matter. And it's a big reason why the 49ers continue to score 30 points a game. So this play is a sack, and it's on Brock. This is a good learning, just a teaching point for him. So when they are bringing 5, and when they're going to blitz, the defense is going to blitz, and you pick a side, you pretty much have to stick with it. So if you check him out here, he's looking left, or he looks left initially. And for whatever reason, I don't know if he felt like he's going to look left and go back right, but you don't have that kind of time. And maybe it's just a good design by the Giants, but based on what the Giants present, free access on Christian McCaffrey. So I know if I get a blitz, which they do, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm looking at this defender, there's no flat player over here. So they're bringing 5, just like we showed last time with the throw to Elijah Mitchell. Throw it out here. Take that 5-6 yard gain, and maybe he breaks a tackle, which he has a propensity to do, and it's a touchdown. Instead, again, Brock comes off, much like that Debo route earlier. He comes off the initial route a little too quick, and then they take a sack. That's on the quarterback. So I've not showed any run plays just because I really wanted to just show Brock and the offensive lineman against the blitz. But tough to ignore plays like this. And McCaffrey had a few runs where it didn't seem like he would gain any yards, and he turned it into 12 just because he's able to pick his feet up. But 41 has him dead to rights right here. This should be a 1 or 2 yard gain. Instead, he is lucky to get a hand on him. And that's the value of Christian McCaffrey right there, turning 1 and 2 yard gains into 6 and 7. So again, by going empty, you are basically forcing the Giants to show their hand. You know that they're going to blitz. You know that they are going to bring 5. This time, after I imagine one of the coaches, the coaching staff, they've been in Brock's ear about hanging on to one of whichever receiver you want to go to. So this time, he does pick a side. He's looking left. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these 5 in red did a really nice job of just winning one-on-one blocks. But Purdy holds on to Kittle. Clean pocket, so like nothing to worry about there. But I think just showing that he's able to hang on to to his receiver, trust that he's going to get open, which he does. Kittle does a nice job of making the guy miss and obviously just stiff-arming him. But that's what playing quarterback is, right? Sometimes you just have to hang on. So I just wanted to show that I imagine some type of adjustment was made. As you can see, they motion to empty here. One-on-one with one of your best threats. You'll take that every time. And that's why they are the Yak Bros. That's just a really tough cover for a safety. All right, so this is first down. I believe this is after a turnover. They're going to run a rail route with Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. So Reverend McLeod, top of the screen. I think he runs a deep in-breaking route. That way, he picks off the corner and the safety. So he takes two guys out of coverage, and you have Christian McCaffrey with the linebacker, one-on-one. You're going to take that every day of the week. So right now, he's open. He throws a back shoulder beauty of a ball. And ooh-wee. I'm imagining they're making fun of Christian McCaffrey in film. It's easier to do so after you win, but this one, like, that's a dot. That is a perfect pass. So more pocket movement from Brock Purdy, which has been consistent. That has been the theme. Like, right, opposite color flashes, opposite color flashes, opposite color flashes. He wins right here. No panic. Eyes don't drop. Climb the pocket. No, I know where I'm going with the ball. Ball comes out. Ball. Oof, man. Look where that hits him. That is a dime. Incomplete. 23. Oh, I know he's hot after that one. But again, the pocket movement is consistent. The eyes down the field were consistent. And for as much as you thought that Purdy was off target this game, there are a lot of reps where he's doing exactly what he's supposed to. So, great throw right there. Just unfortunate it was incomplete. All right, 2nd and 7. As you can see, 6 minutes left. It's time, right? Let's end the game. And that's exactly what the 49ers do here. They are going to run just a little stutter go to the bottom of the screen. You know that there's going to be a blitz. It's almost, the ball is almost in the exact same location as it was to McCaffrey on that rail route. Back shoulder, hits Debo in the face mask. All you have to do is hold on to the ball. There's nothing the DB can do about this. He is in, honestly, perfect position. He's squeezing, he's chest to chest. What are you supposed to do there? And then if we look at it from the end zone angle, quarterback faces a little pressure. Let's see, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. Blitz. There's not. This is a part of playing quarterback in the NFL too. Like, you're not going to have a clean pocket where you're able to step up in the pocket. So look at all those bodies around him as he's throwing. Like, the fact that he's not flustered or rattled is very promising. So, ooh, man, that's going to make a play caller very confident these last 2 throws. And again, this is why the 49ers are able to score 30 points. They have a quarterback who is willing to beat the blitz down the field. He's not looking for a check down. He keeps his eyes down the field, which helps him see everybody. And he is looking to make the defense pay for bringing that extra defender. The more you watch this game or the more you look back at it, it was a lot better performance. When you got to factor in, they blitzed him 84% of the time. It's like the most ever in Next Gen Stats history. So, about as good as it gets from Brock Purdy in the sense that how he beat the blitz, the fact that the 49ers did not have Brandon Ayuk, which again, there are a few plays where they would have loved to have a guy who beats man coverage with his eyes closed. So it's on deck. I don't think they're going to take the Cardinals lightly after what the Cardinals did to the Cowboys and then Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, but have to be very encouraged by what you saw from a quarterback who was just making his 8th regular season start against a team that, while they didn't have a bunch of guys who can win their one-on-one matchups, you still have the extra rushers. You still have to account for the blitz. This test with swimming colors.